Many of you have been asking, we wanted to have this film finished about a month ago, but as you know, the filmmaker's father was shot and killed during the Sikh temple massacre, which delayed us a month or two. But right now, the main delay is because we're waiting for the geneticist who's doing the work on the genetic material that we got from this little possible extraterrestrial being. And if you want to see this, you can go to Sirius.neverendinglight.com. I just received in the last 2 days a report from this geneticist and a medical doctor who is the leading person in the world on skeletal deformities in children and fetuses and humans, and who literally wrote the textbook on it. And he has looked at the CAT scan and the X-rays and has concluded, number one, it is no known genetic defect. This is big news. Number two, it is not a product of conception. In other words, it is not a miscarried or aborted fetus. It's about a 5 to 7 year old. Now, this is a 6-inch tall being. It's a 5 to 7 year old being because of the bone density. We had an indication of this from the original radiologist that did, who was head of the radiographic center, that took the X-rays in a foreign country where we went in late September, early October. And she was the director of this, and she looked at this. She says, this is not a neonatal or a fetus or a miscarried, what have you. This is a being that was up and around, because look at the bone density. Well, this person, who is the world's expert in these skeletal anomalies, number one, has stated that this is no known syndrome, and number two is very definitely a 5 to 7 year old. So we're almost certainly dealing with a humanoid of unknown origin. The genetic work is just now getting underway because some of the equipment that was needed, it's being done at one of the top Ivy League university genetic labs, was being held up in customs for about a month or two. All the equipment is there now, and we're beginning to start the genetic testing. So we hope in the next month we will get all of that information wrapped up. But in a sense, the genetic testing, since there's no database of ET genes, would be a process of exclusion anyway. And the report from this other expert, who is the most renowned person in the world on skeletal deformities, is probably going to be the most definitive thing we're going to have. And I'm here to announce today that this is really quite an astounding discovery, that in fact this little 6-inch tall, 2-arm, 2-leg being is in fact a humanoid that was in the 5 to 7 year old range. If it was a male, it would have been more like a 5-year-old. If it was female, probably more like 7 years old. Now, this is assuming Earth development and Earth calcification of bones, et cetera, and so on and so forth. But the point being, it is not a deformed fetus because it would not have that level of calcium in it. And we suspected that from the beginning, but it wasn't until we got these renowned experts to look at the actual X-rays and CAT scans that we were able to determine that, and that was just reported back to me in the last couple of days. So this is incredible news, in fact, very big scientific news.